So before we continue with this episode, I want to beg you guys, please share this podcast with your family members, your colleagues at work, your boss, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your sneaky link, your enemy, anybody you know, a random person you meet on the street. Please send this podcast to them. We know you love the podcast, so let's share so that they can feel the love as well. Thank you very much. That's I just want to beg. I'm begging you guys, So let's get serious now. So public domain.
Yeah, public domain.
What is the public domain?
It's for the public.
The domain
obviously,
of
the domain it's in the name.
It's self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's kind of self-explanatory, but still, I feel like we should still give them a standard. No, let's first give them a standard definition. Okay. Like, let's break down the public domain. Let's see. Okay. Personally, I see the public domain as the avenue through which all societies they derive their knowledge, because it's like the base of all the knowledge we have as societies.
Without the public domain,
without the public domain, we don't have most of the knowledge we do.
Yeah, the public domain is basically that public avenue of knowledge that has been transferred from generation to generation, from time immemorial, from the first set of men, or from the first man and first woman, how they've passed on this knowledge, and it now belongs to everyone. It's now useful to everyone, and it's not. Nobody can say that this is mine.
So let's still break it down, because if I've never heard of public domain, what would you guys say?
it's just kind of like a storehouse of information where everybody can go there to get inspiration or take reference from, something like that.
Yeah, and I think another thing we should mention is that the public domain is not a place. It's a collection of what should I call it? I don't want to say artwork, because it's not just
Intellectual material.
It's a collection of intellectual material. It could be music, it could be books, painting, all of those. Just any of those things which are not covered by any copyright
or any intellectual property rights.
Sorry, of any.
It's not restricted, it's just copyright.
Yeah, okay, sorry. So yeah, I think that about covers it. If you guys are still confused, send I think a message on Instagram.
It'll give you a detailed
explanation
of the public domain.
Yeah.
So
Public domain
it's a
is
big advocate of the public domain.
a very invaluable resource. Like,
Without the public domain, I don't think we would have any creative or substantial.
And I feel like
limited.
it's so sad, because I feel like a lot of people in Nigeria don't know about the public domain. You mention public domain now, people look at you confused because they don't realize that there's a source where they can get some works and just use them. Yeah, but people don't realize. Most people don't know about it, and that's why we're doing this podcast. So we're letting people. So that's another reason to share our podcast. Let people know about the public domain. If you're creative, that means
very
you can use
important
some
to your
artwork
work.
Exactly. Without needing to
permission or attributes or take any.
There's no
Nobody
intellectual
owns it.
property
It
rights.
belongs to the public. Something like I belong to nobody, I belong to everybody.
Yeah.
That's it. Just
Public
public domain.
That's
Public domain
slang.
guys.
Unofficial slang.
Someone
I
said
belong
that.
to nobody, I belong to everybody.
So yeah, let's get more deeper into the film. What if Free Knowledge Africa has done with the public domain?
No. Before we go there, let's do how do works, intellectual works get into the public domain?
Different
What are you thinking about
countries.
it? It's not that.
It's actually
It's not that different. Different
it's actually a
countries,
matter of contention.
Yeah, but like you don't have to side. That side is giving me.
No, I feel sad
great topic.
when countries decide to extend the duration of things getting to the public.
Yes, after we can't control every country, but let's just give the general one. Usually, I think most countries are between 50 to 60, sorry, 50 to 70 years. Most countries are within that.
After the death of the creator.
Yeah, so
I actually found out that it was once 25 years in Nigeria.
Wow.
I wonder why they changed that. So
What could
But
have
now-
gone?
so now you have to wait. A work like if I create a work today, and I die tomorrow,
No, you won't die tomorrow.
I'm not going to. Obviously, I'm not going to. I'm just giving an example, so I can give like an explanative
Yeah.
example. Like,
Yeah.
let's say I write a book today, and I die in like 2 months. So starting from 2 months,
You did
60
die.
yeah, 60 years,
70.
70.
Yeah.
Sorry, apologies. 70 years from that day I die. Okay, sorry, that was bad. Let's just say 70 years after, like starting from counting from the day I die, 70 years after.
Not the day or the next year, the January 1st of
Is it the year?
next.
No,
What
it's
was
the
the
date.
date? No, it's the date. It's the date.
It's the date.
70th
January 1,
se- the-
yes.
let's just do the 70th anniversary of the day I die. You can use anything I created without permission. I use it for free. Whether it's a book, I wrote, or a song I wrote, or a logo I
So you
designed, or
see,
a
at
picture I
70
took.
years grace, even after you're dead, it's still
Yeah,
So the public is
collect
not
my-
trying to
my family
steal
can
your
collect
work.
your work.
royalties,
Yes, your family can still be beneficiary of whatever
Work
rights
royalties
you
or
have.
anything like that. So
Yeah, like that's one of the ways work enter. Then we have dedication too, where you can willingly choose to
Give it
put
to
your
the
work in
public.
domain. Like
because you're a public, you're a like open knowledge
Philanthropist.
you realize the importance
the
of
importance
knowledge.
of public, yeah. So you don't really have to wait for 70 years or wait for any number of days. You
can
just
just wake up today
publish
and-
your work and then choose to dedicate it. That's what I call dedication. Dedicate it into the public domain so that people can find inspiration from your work. Imagine someone quoting you, you not feel like, wow.
Exactly, like
You
you know, right now there are a lot of things. For example, you know, there's some things we cannot say in this podcast. There's some things we cannot play because they are copyrighted.
Yeah.
Imagine it in public domain.
Yeah,
It's
you
even
reference.
free publicity for you now.
Yes, free publicity, exactly.
So if anybody can use that, then everybody uses that. They put your name that. Oh, okay, this thing was created by this person.
Or like a phrase, maybe from your speech or from an address, and just like quote you, like.
Oh, and in case you guys didn't know, I think quotes can be copyrighted as well.
Based on the copyright law, different works, different categories of work have different dates that they enter into the public domain. So, for example, for cinematograph, films, or photograph, they enter into the public domain 50 years after the date of first publication. That's nothing to do with the death of any author or creator or anything. 50 years, so a movie, a photograph, once it's 50 years after the day of capture, it expires. So in Nigeria, yeah, when it's
No, not the capture, like because you can capture something and not release.
Yeah.
true, when it's publicly released, right? So let's say in Nigeria, works that were publicly released by 1973 and before are already in the public domain. So pictures of Yakubu go on.
I think it's independent.
So what about
speech,
pictures and stuff like that?
Yes, they're already in
Yeah.
the public domain. So
Music.
music. No.
I think music is a different law.
They're all 50 years. I don't know how we're confusing ourselves. Everything is 50 years. As like,
So sound recording is to enter into public domain 50 years after their creation. For example, Ewo Ijaba Moto 1967 by King Sunny Ade is now in the public domain. And so many other works in that category and within that time frame are already in the public domain. So broadcast to enter into the public domain 50 years after the first took place. So example is the Independence Day broadcast by Sir Emmanuel Eweton Omatshola. So it was released on October 1st, 1960 by 12 midnight. So other works that have also entered the public domain are books. They entered into the public domain 70 years after the death of the author. So this one is really contingent on the author dying.
Oh, so that means what I said in the first part about it being the death copyrighted, that doesn't really work for Nigeria for those topics.
Yeah, just
yeah, just.
so
How about books where the authors are unknown? Like
Okay.
it's published anonymously.
we can assume it's in the public domain.
And I think it's 70 years after its first
After it's
publication.
If the author is on.
If the author is unknown, yes.
Who owns the rights?
Nobody does.
Because the author is unknown, so we just maybe that's 70 years grace is for someone to come forward with undisputable evidence that I'm doing not. Probably this
I
is
never
not,
thought of that, sure.
This is not set in stone, it's just my assumption.
So in the case of government publications,
Those ones are automatically in public.
yeah, I believe so.
Once it's published by federal government, state government, local government, they are in the public domain. So all these government addresses, presidential speeches, government organizations, yearly review, all those annual publications, they're in public domain.
I think they've also done some death support reports.
Yes, so celebrated the public domain day.
Public domain day is on 1st of January of every year.
Yeah, so
That's the day we celebrate works coming into public domain for that year.
I think we did it. We celebrated it for the first time in 2020.
So you said it, so we did that.
2022.
Oh,
We had a
Yeah.
webinar. We had people attending, people speaking, experts, professors, copyright activists.
yeah, I think that was. I think we also had like a lawyer or two to come and talk to us about like the public domain laws in Nigeria. Or okay, concerning the laws surrounding our works entered the public domain in Nigeria, what do you guys think of that and all of that?
Yeah, aside books, I think they all have like a specific time frame that I put into. For books and other like literary works, it's 70 years after the death of the author.
Okay.
And then for other work like songs, music recordings, videos, photographs, it's 50 years after its first publication. So
You should
That's-
consult a lawyer.
yes, because it's actually tricky sometimes. Because some people do renew their copyright.
Just consult a lawyer.
Take our advice, but hire a lawyer.
It's not illegal advice. It's not
yeah.
illegal advice.
Sadly, none of us here are lawyers.
Unfortunately.
And people dedicate their work to public domain. Like they don't have to wait for the 70 years or 50 years. They can just choose, maybe because they understand the importance of the public domain. They choose to put their work into the public domain, out of the goodness of their heart.
Likeness of that.
Yeah.
And just to support open knowledge and all, just like how there's open source code and stuff like that,
People willing to do that. They have government publications. So
Yeah, those
works published by the government are automatically in the government. So that's basically how.
Yeah, I think that covers that. Then we should let's get to the fun part, shall we? Is it the fun part? It's gone. It's not technically fun, but it was fun when we did it. We've done some projects. We've done some projects relating to the public domain and all of that. I think starting in 2022.
Yes.
Celebration of the public.
Celebration of the
Public domain day is 1st of January every year. So it's just like a celebration to celebrate all the books coming into the public domain in that particular year.
Not just books.
Okay, all the works,
Yeah.
creative works,
Coming into the
intellectual
public
materials coming into the public domain. So they celebrate them, celebrate their authors.
Yeah.
I anything that they used to celebrate their authors before. I used to
Why not do that?
Yeah, I
they
feel like- I
celebrate
think
the
that's a
authors,
really
they
good
celebrate
idea,
the books, they celebrate
Yeah.
the works.
It's a really
Impact
nice thing
of
because
the
we have to
knowledge.
celebrate the fact that we wouldn't have that without the author.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
work
celebrate the
with-
author.
But taking the bold steps to create
Create
something.
And then, I feel like creating creative work is not easy. I feel like that's one aspect where I've always struggled.
I struggle.
Yeah.
Writing, singing.
When it comes to
drawing.
quantitative stuff, no problem. But
And
once
that's
it's
actually where we
quantitative
have
and
the
creative,
public domain to serve as like a guideline or a reference point. Because without the public domain, it's not easy now, but without the public domain, it's been very, 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 very difficult.
yeah. So
Yeah, I think we also try to start a database of works in the public domain.
yeah, actually we did a lot of things. We first started with the webinar
Yeah, the
in
celebration.
2022.
Yeah.
And we had to, we invited the lawyer, like we said, contact the lawyer. So we invited the lawyer to explain to us, and then we also had some people who are really
Experts in the field of
Experts.
public domain and copyright.
copyright laws to come
Yeah,
and
someone from
shape-
Indonesia, someone from Netherlands, someone from Finland, and someone from Nigeria.
yeah, to come
A
and
professor of advanced. Really.
guide us, so we don't give you people empty or
Misleading
verified
information.
Yeah, so you can watch that video of the webinar on YouTube. You can learn more about what went down there. I'm sure you will find it interesting.
And then we did a public domain contest.
Yeah, we also had a mini contest where we had people.
Was it really a mini contest? People
Doesn't
people
mean-
really
We
contributed a lot, so don't mind. Don't mind them.
Close to 1,000
Sorry,
works
really,
that were
but-
documented. So that's not me.
Wow. Was that like?
No, it was more than 1,000. No.
It was more than 1,000.
Yeah, it was just. I think even after we because we actually had a lot. We had like maybe 2,000 or 3,000.
But
But then we had to
the
remove the
screening
ones that were
and
not really
everything,
works in public
So
domain.
that's not
Reduced
me.
to about 1,500 or so.
Wow. So
Works and information.
part of the attempts at doing a database is actually to digitize those works. That's the
to
end
make
goal.
them easily accessible.
Make them easily accessible to the public.
Yeah,
and
because what's
then
the point?
have
of
them-
having
Then it's a
public
public
but just
domain.
hiding it, maybe in a museum. You know, a lot of museums actually have
Or a
a lot
library.
Or
of
someone's
Everything.
personal library.
Yeah,
someone's
surprise.
own.
so many works, but they're just nobody can see them.
Or
And
some
even
books
if
that are
they
waiting to be
active,
destroyed in some cases. Lot of
I
these-
we don't understand the quality or the what
quality of
those
what we have.
books hold, like the values.
Yeah, so we're still in the process of trying to digitize these works. We are trying to raise awareness. We are trying to do a social media campaign.
Yeah, so if you want to partner with us on this,
Or if you have public domain works, like they are just lying around.
they
in
work
your
with you to digitize them. Don't worry, you don't have to do the work. We'll do the work.
Yeah, so
Just reach out to us.
we're trying to build our own digital database that you can see the book, view it, download it, use it anyhow because it's in the public domain
is free,
and open for
Open.
anyone, for anything you want to do.
totally
So-
open, 100% open.
So we want to
You
make
don't
it
even have
available to
that
you. That's one of our core objectives right now, like making these works available to the Nigerian public and even the
Not just
global
Nigerian,
audience,
yes. Global.
so that you can have access to it. And we're also trying to tie it into our culture, be part of our culture, stories for
It's
It's
free.
in
most of the older stories are all like cultural. It's not like now that we have so many of our stories that seem like Western or
different feeds.
yeah.
And we actually in
back
these
then-
situations where they are actually the ones writing our history for us, like we ourselves, we don't know our
Like back
history.
then, everything we were writing back then was centered towards us. So it's definitely
from a
automatically
cultural lens.
cultural lens.
Yeah, so we are trying to bring those books out so that we can take a trip back to the past and see how things were, and see maybe we can see some learnings or some things that have changed, that can even appreciate ourselves better for how far we've come, or to just have an understanding of our
Get
culture.
inspired by them
Yeah,
to
expired,
relate to
yes,
your own
great
versions.
movies,
Exactly.
documentaries, right? Books, like
Arts,
using that,
clothing, fashion.
using that as
like
an
this
inspiration.
the idea of just like putting logos and slogans on t-shirts is really common. That's like you should just those things would inspire you.
Yeah.
Create t-shirts, you know.
I mean, there are a lot of untold stories that we don't even know about. Many things in our culture from the past. So many things we don't know that only people who are still in that, how would I put it, in that sphere of the cultural sector understand. And these things are dying out very fast. And with the high trend of rural urban migration, people living in the villages from the cities and abandoning them, these sectors are dying out. And
In
no
the
one
next 10 years, you're really surprised how we won't going to be hearing anything about all these stories and history. But if we have them documented, we have them digitized, like for years to come, generations after generations after generations, they'll still have somewhere to reference, something to tell them what they met.
And yeah, we want to actually do that. I believe we can't do it alone. We need the support of stakeholders, institutions.
It's not apart from stakeholders, even just regular people. If you have any public domain item around you, or you have a library, you know, has this sort of information, you could go there, work on digitizing it, or if you don't want to do the work,
Reach out
reach out to
to
us, come and do the work.
Reach out to us. We'll respond as soon as possible.
We didn't business this.
Yeah, so we are still currently trying to do the database. It's one of our major activities we've been working on, conducting research, having conversations with people, people at the National
It's not
Library.
quite easy because another problem with the public domain in Nigeria is that there's some items you have that created. You don't have a valid record of when they were published.
Yeah.
So or maybe you have an item, you have the author, you're not sure exactly when you
calculate.
wrote that. You know, it's not like back then. It's not like right now that the
Everything
report dates and all of that. Back then,
You don't even know when some people died.
So that's another issue with like documenting. So that's part of why the project has been so slow.
So
Not
you
to
have
make sure
to be
that
very
everything you
careful
have
so as not to infringe on anybody's rights.
Then we can make some reasonable assumptions.
Yeah, we can, but I'm just explaining that that's why it's slower.
Yeah. And
Because
then
we can't
where
just
even
jump
these
to
books are,
conclusions.
most people are not willing to go through the whole,
Stress of
books that are from 100 years ago.
They're so fragile. You handle them to
Some of them are even damaged already, like pages torn out, rodent eating it. You can't even see some again. Dust has turned the paper to dust.
And I feel like there's also the aspect of should I use the word selfishness?
when trying to
Should I say
Self-preservation.
greediness or self-preservation? Yeah, people are like, even with the fact that it's in the public domain, a lot of people who own these items are still like, no, I have the only copy.
But are they still alive?
Yes. No,
Some of them are.
people
Imagine I
own-
inherited it from my grandmother or something
Yeah,
like that.
like,
And then
not
I'm
like
like, no, I know I have the
ownership.
only copy, so I'm keeping it to myself. I don't want anybody else to have the copy.
I think we can do more awareness, more storytelling, communicate to the public, like let people know why it's important.
important for
Share.
out there. Yes.
Share this knowledge. It might not be a lot of people that will need it, but just some people that will need it to use it for a greater. So it's important to let people speak because some people don't know why they are wondering why should I give it to you? Why should I share it? This is something special to me. Why do I trust you? How do I know you don't want to do something else with it?
Yeah, but just I feel like people that are thinking like that just think of the fact that if you don't,
Yes.
that if you don't share that sort of information, it will die. Because imagine, for example, I have maybe my grandmother was a painter, so she had some pictures or some artwork in the house and then was passed down through the family. If it gets to a point where I'm the last child of my family, then I die and there's nobody to inherit. Those kind of things will just get destroyed because whichever
And you
lawyer
are the one that know the sentimental values of you know where it's coming
exactly
from.
or stories that you know
history,
history, exactly. So if I don't put that in public domain, those things are going to die.
Die.
Knowledge dies when people try to audit. You should share knowledge. That's the only way it can grow and go far and they just help more people, inspire more people, and just imagine there's so many things about our history we don't know.
Yeah.
If everybody like so many gaps.
Yeah, I don't know if you've heard about this project by archiving, that they're archiving newspapers, digitizing newspapers for maybe 40 years in book. Every single detail now
Right.
till maybe 2020.
And for
or so.
example, I know a lot of museums have their museums and libraries. I know that store like copies of newspapers.
Newspaper. Yes, the National Library, they're supposed to. Yes, they do.
I think
They
an
store
organization has started the
newspapers,
project actually
yes.
digitizing every single copy. So it means a whole lot of insight to be unlocked, a whole lot of why this
Because
happened, why
imagine
that
news that have
happened.
been covered by
Funny stories of things that have happened in the
Right.
past. You know, they used to tell us that in their time they used to travel to school. Maybe it's not entirely true.
Oh,
Well,
they investigate.
we'll be able to see as if we hear stories, news articles,
Yeah,
then
that
that says otherwise or confirms. We'll be able to say, okay, this is true, not just yes, we were told. So we'll
I
be able
get
to
to insight
understand.
into how people thought back then. You know.
Yeah,
Right
their
now-
mode of living, the way they did things, because it's very different from
Their
right
fashion
now.
trend.
The kind of things they thought were newsworthy.
Yeah. The people that were trending for good reasons or bad,
Bad reasons. You know, some funny things that we would not consider newsworthy now. Back
No,
then,
we'll be able
it
to
was
know
just-
if,
Right.
Imagine them celebrating someone buying a new car in a town.
I'm actually imagining reading a newspaper from 40 years ago, like, what type of news would I see there? Like, I'm just trying to imagine.
I mean, we can even observe the fashion trend
Trends,
across
yes.
the years from pictures in the newspaper. We can draw a trend. I know these pictures. Some of these pictures might even be in the public domain already.
No, I feel like probably.
Yeah, this.
So imagine doing
They are
the
old enough.
analysis of pictures over the years and then drawing a short, snap, like quick transformation across the year to see what we have now trending.
Yeah, I'm giving you guys ideas.
The parents says you can contribute
we're
to
not-
this movement.
We are not
this
selfish. Feel free to
initiative.
work on it, don't worry.
Well, we
And
actually
if
need
you
all
have
the support you
ideas,
can
yes,
get.
you can reach out to us with your ideas.
If you are a researcher, if you are passionate about this, if you would like to work on this with us, please don't hesitate to reach out. Won't at all. Like if you have partnerships with us, if you're a librarian, an archivist, a curator somewhere,
Just someone randomly works in the library or what, you know?
or you have a rich history in your family or town or village.
Even in your personal library, because you'd be
Yeah,
surprised
or you even want to
at the quality
donate.
of information people
Yeah.
have.
I just want to
Yeah,
donate
personal
actually to
libraries,
people
yes.
to use. So because sometimes some works are already in the public domain in the minds of the author. Like in their mind, anybody can use it, download it.
Yeah,
you know,
but they're not doing anything to actively
Give
put
it
out there
out,
for people to use.
yes, and they don't even know that they can make it available under this place and it will gain more visibility and people will be able to take advantage of it. I mean, the public domain is very important. If you try to quantify the economic value of public domain, you know, it keeps renewing itself. It keeps expanding over every decade, every century. It keeps expanding in terms of knowledge mass of things that are getting into the public domain, that are being released into the public domain.
Every year.
It's
I
increasing
just want
and
to imagine the
increasing.
number of books that go into public domain every year.
That we don't even know about. You know, there are millions
that we
of
don't
books,
know about
new books
exactly.
every year. New books every year, and
Every
then
year, yes.
wisdom and knowledge is trapped across all these books. Not just books alone, movies.
Even music. I remember I saw this thing on I think it was Instagram or Snapchat yesterday, and they were talking about how there are some songs on Spotify, for example, like, and this is even more recently when songs are put online. They're like there are millions of songs on Spotify that have never been listened to, and some even just have like 1 or 2 listens.
Wow.
Like, I just imagine that kind of thing, and that is in this digital age when anybody can just go to Spotify and search for it.
Yes.
Now think of back then where it was really hard to distribute stuff like this.
And
You
then-
can imagine
said,
the number
all
of
this
books, images, videos, music
I've
that
never
nobody has ever
read
seen.
or listened to or
That could
watched.
help
Like,
you know, and then we could also think about how structured data could also help. You know, metadata, the categories it falls in.
right.
Is it health? Is it
Culture,
fashion? Is it
history.
medicine? And then narrowing it down and narrowing that so that once you need something, you can easily pinpoint it and go to that
you don't need
category.
to start searching
and get
through a
it.
wide range of databases. Just put in what you're looking for and get books that are related or works that are related to that particular category.
Yeah, that we even forgot. We celebrated the public domain day again this year. We will train librarians in Kwara State.
Sorry. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, and she was even a speaker at the
Yeah,
event.
forgot to
Like,
mention that.
she's a librarian.
We had a public domain celebration. They said we had it in March.
Yeah, March.
Celebration in January first, but we celebrate ours on March was March 25th.
Wow, you even remember. So we had it then, and we had over almost 30 librarians in
Yes,
attendance
almost 30.
from across different cultural heritage institutions in the states, where we were able to present the grand idea of what public domain was.
Kwara State.
Yeah, Kwara State. So we we are really trying to build the community of public domain activists in India, people that are passionate about the public domain and are dedicated to improving the knowledge mass that are made available to people. Not just that we know that it's in the public domain, but that we can easily access it. That is very critical, because knowing is good, but not being able to access it is like, I don't know.
Just like what we said about people's libraries. If you have a book in your library that you think it's in public domain, yes, and you're okay with anybody using it, how do they actually access it? It's just inside your library and nowhere else.
You can digitize it and keep the physical copy for yourself.
Don't worry, we'll just
So that's the
digitize
advantage
and
of the
keep it
digital
yourself.
age.
Yeah.
That's leverage.
you don't have to give us that wall copy.
You don't have to see the physical stuff,
Before you
but
can get
see
the value.
get the
Right,
value from it, and that's the value in it. So guys, we really want to do this and we need your support. You don't know who is listening. It might be, I don't know, you might know someone that knows someone or have access to it, or you're always seeing books.
Neighbors, mommies, aunties,
You're always
sisters,
seeing
brother.
books somewhere and it's abandoned. Call us, reach out to us. Social media, email, our website.
Isaac's personal email.
Personal phone number.
You can reach out to us actually. We'll be more than happy to engage with you and work with you. I mean, we are trying to make knowledge available for Africans and by Africans, and then to contribute to global knowledge. Thank you guys. Till we see you again. Bye.
Bye.